December naanza kusikia uchungu like on my pelvic. I'm cramping so bad. Ile kabisa. Nasikia uchungu and there was minimal blood. So I didn't know what that was kwa sababu I'm new to this. I've never gotten another baby. Sijai kuwa pregnant again. So what is all this? It was me and ChatGPT. She said, hapa hakuna kitu. Madam, enda nyumbani, ishatoka yote. I have never been heartbroken in my life like that day. I shook. I felt hairs on my body ni kama zinasimama. I felt goosebumps. Nilikuwa nasikia ni kama akili ni kama imesimama sasa. Because now, I've already told my close friends. I've already told my family. So, hawatafikiria ni miscarriage. And I remember on that day, I knelt down in that room and I prayed. And I told God, usikubali ifanyike. Hi family, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Tashi. And today we have another video. For the new subscribers and the returning subscribers, karibuni sana. My video we are shooting at MWM Studios in Kawaskari. I'll pin the number here. You can just text or call them for those who want to start a podcast, for those who want to start the YouTube channel. Nyinyi nyote mmekaribishwa and you can all come and shoot in this studio. So in today's video, I'll be talking about how I almost lost my baby, stroke, how my first trimester was. A lot of you are asking, how was my first trimester? What happened in my first trimester? So we are doing it in this video. So let's get into it. So I found out I'm pregnant, of course, around November. At the moment, it was 6 weeks. I didn't know. And due to disbelief, I went for like tests and then went for a scan. So on the scan, I had to take like a lot of water because the baby was so small and we couldn't see the baby. So the water inafanyanga mtu ni kama your baby aeze kuonekana because it's on the pelvic, like the scan. So on doing that, that's when I knew that I have a 6-week fetus in me. And the reaction video, I hope you all have watched it. It's just above this one. So after finding that, that's when I had now the symptoms. I never had any symptom to start off. I was actually on a diet challenge. I was on the 30-day hard challenge because I wanted some kind of summer body or something. I was around 52 kgs. When I found out I'm pregnant, hapo sasa ndio nikaanza kusikia now I'm getting sick. I could get nausea. I could feel things like I want to eat something. I don't know if it was based on my mind. I don't know. For those who don't know what a trimester is, trimester means 3, right? So there's a first, second, and a third trimester. So on the first trimester, that's when now 0 to around 3 months, I suppose. Yeah, 0 to around 3 months. Now that's the first trimester. And then second goes like that to third, all through. So, sayo nishajua I'm pregnant, nishapima, nishaanza kupata the signs and symptoms. I've already told the alleged dad that I'm pregnant and whatnot. So now, I used to feel sick, literally sick. I can't wake up from bed. I can't eat anything. I used to puke everything, even water. Like at that moment, I could wish for God to take my life because I was going to heaven, like that is the most crucial part of pregnancy. That was so hard for me. And then you can imagine being alone and doing it alone and you can't eat. It was such a hectic thing. So at the moment when I was in my first trimester, I guess that is when I caught now the sadness and should I say more of like depression or whatever it was, because now you're doing it alone, right? So we're there juggling around my cravings. I used to crave for mangoes. Iyo maembe ya pilipili uneka mingi and milk. I guess my baby was low budget. Juu sasa angeitisha vitu kama pizza, pesa ingetoka wapi jameni. So my baby used to ask for mangoes and milk, and my weirdest craving was bread na mbosho, like bread, and then you have beans in the middle, and then you eat it. For some reason, it used to slap. So after, of course, getting all the symptoms, I moved out from my place to my parents' house. And now at that point, I could just sleep. For some reason, I don't know why you get tired. And that is also the main reason as to why I deferred from school, because I used to sleep so much. Like, nilikuwa tu nalala hivyo, aina msimamo, unalala unakula unatapika, unalala unakula unatapika. And then the worst part was getting your prenatals. I was taking IFAS. That thing wasn't sweet. I used to vomit so bad. So I remember when I went for my second clinic around last year still, now around December now, to coming to how I almost lost my baby. My second clinic, I remember ikiandikwa kwa clinic book. You know, there's a name, what you do and everything, and now to father's name. I remember writing my dad because he wasn't present from the start. Like from after now the first 6 weeks, right? He wasn't present. So I remember writing my dad. I was in that big dilemma, and I wrote my dad for some reason, because all in all, come rain, come sunshine, who'll be there? He'll be there, right? So at this point, imefika like around early December, naanza kusikia uchungu like on my pelvic. I'm cramping so bad. Ile kabisa. Nasikia uchungu and there was minimal blood. So I didn't know what that was, kwa sababu I'm new to this. I've never gotten another baby. Sijai kuwa pregnant again. So what is all this? It was me and ChatGPT. Hi ChatGPT, I am experiencing this and this and that. What could be the issue? I am doing this and this, all that. So I didn't know that bleeding was a huge risk during pregnancy. You know, now I'm stressed and everything is happening all at once. I guess I was thinking so much, and stress leads to, let me say, more of miscarriages. You might lose your baby. It leads to a lot of things when you're pregnant so much. So around early deck, I experienced the bleeding, and I texted him and I'm telling him, you know what, I'm having a bleeding down there. It's not so much, but I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. And you know what he told me? Vumilia, hiyo ni normal. And I didn't know. So si mimi msichana nimevumilia, because sasa hata saa hiyo sijui ni run to nani nimwambie that hivi na hivi ndo mimi nasikia. Ama I can't even tell my dad, because my dad is not a woman. Hajaibeba mimba, so how will he even tell me? So now I went to chat, because now on the other like day I was still bleeding. So I go to chat and I'm like, chat, I'm bleeding, like this is like the second day I'm having this. What could be the reason? And chat now gives me like hella explanations. Inaniambia it might be infections, you might be having a miscarriage. But miscarriage wasn't in my mind at the moment, because now I wasn't thinking about it, because I was already contented with my acceptance, and kenye nilikuanga tu nishaeka kwa moyo, nilikuanga nishatosheleka with, now we're having a baby, we're going to do this, nini, all that. So Sayo, I call him again. I'm at my parents, right? So I tell him we need to go to the hospital, because this is the second day of me bleeding, and I'm from Googling it, and I don't think kama ni kitu mzuri. We have to go. So he tells me, mind you, I'm in pain, like so much pain on my pelvic and my back. It feels like I was cramping or something. So I have pain. He has the audacity to tell me, ati tupatane katikati. So our hospital enye tulikuwa tunafaa kuenda iko, let's say, around Thika Road. So tupatane katikati hapo, and then we go. I'm like, how will I juggle? I don't have money for Bolt. Nitaenda aje, nitafika je hadi hapo? Hiyo ni mat. Na nasikia uchungu. In the long run, I ended up getting mad and I didn't show up. So he's like, now gaslighting me. He's like, oh, now you don't want to show up, now it's your problem. I told you I'm sick. I had to go to Aga Khan and do this and that. Man, defined man. So I didn't go. The next day, bado namka na uchungu. Now that's the third day. Namka na uchungu. I tell my dad, now I'm feeling pain. I need to rush to the nearest public hospital that's karibu na sisi, but mimi bado sikuwa najua kama it's anything serious. Nikachukua mat, it's like 50 bob to the hospital. Now we start the clinic. Now we start not the clinic, we start the consultation and how did we get to here, how did it happen. So now the doctor asks me, how long has this been going? I'm like, today is the 3rd day. And she immediately tells me, this is an emergency. So kwa akili, niko like, this is an emergency. How? Like, I didn't expect that. So she's like, you have to go ufanyiwe scan. Unafaa ukunywe maji kwanza saizi because your baby is so small. Now we have to check your pelvic. We have to see if the pregnancy is attached well. We have to see if it's an ectopic pregnancy or a normal pregnancy. That is what she was telling me. So I remember being heartbroken by her when she asked me, did you come alone? Because I had to move around. Na sina mtu akuni like kuambia enda lab unichukulie specimen ama enda kwa chemist ufanye. No, I didn't have anything or anyone at the moment. So hiyo niko tu na kabag kangu, very confused, very shy, because now I didn't know how to go about it. So when she asked me kama nimekuja na mtu, I said no, niko peke yangu. And she was like, sawa, fanya hivi, enda pale kwa pharmacy uambie wakupe hii na hii na hii na hii dawa ukuje to inject because of the pain, and then now you'll have to go do a scan, we see how the baby is. So they put me on a drip. That is the first day. They put me on a drip, and at that moment I was just praying, just telling God. I don't know what I was telling God, but I was just praying at that moment because now I'm confused. Na mimi si wale watoto wa kugonjeka hizi magonjwa kubwa kubwa sana. I've never fainted, sijai break anywhere, sijawai nose bleed. Sasa ndio mimi nimelala kwa kitanda na mwana drip. So kwa akili nashangaa, kai, kwa nini naenda Zayuni? Shida ni gani? Like sijui shida ni gani, and I'm in pain. So I eased up. In the long run, I went for the scan. Sayo ni kwa mlolongo wa laini. Unangoja mtu mmoja baada ya mwingine. Alafu hapo kila mtu ako pregnant. Yangu haionyeshi. Wananiangalia tu. Sayo ni wamama, like wamama. Mi sisemi jensi. Sorry for the wamamas watching. But it was like 35 hapo kuendelea. So I'm there seated, waiting. It's now my turn. Kuingia, I guess there was an unprofessional nurse, more of I'll say a KMTC student. And when they were looking on my pelvic, now they were doing the scan. What they do is they pour some kind of gel and then they take some machine. Now wanaangalia now all around. And I remember one thing she said. She said, hapa hakuna kitu. Madam, enda nyumbani, shatoka yote. I have never been heartbroken in my life like that day. I shook. I felt hairs on my body ni kama zinasimama. I felt goosebumps. Nilikuwa nasikia ni kama akili ni kama imesimama sasa. Because now I've already told my close friends. I've already told my family. So hawatafikiria ni miscarriage. And I remember on that day I knelt down in that room and I prayed and I told God, usikubali ifanyike. I don't know if I'm delusional. I don't know if iko ama haiko, but watasema nimetoa. That is what was in my head, because at that point it's still early. Hakuna mtu atadhani it was a miscarriage. No one will take it as a miscarriage. Watasema huyu aliona tu akapata mimba then akatoa. Even ndo ingekuwa, it's so like hard to convince mtu ati, you know what, I had a miscarriage because I was stressed because of what was happening in my relationship at the moment. So I remember I cried to God and I prayed. Alafu nurse ananiangalia tu vibaya. Ako like, nini, amka uende nyumbani, hapa hakuna kitu. So I go back with the results kwa the doctor's office. I'm crying, I'm alone. Sasa uchungu imerudi. Because sasa nasikia naumwa na kichwa, nasikia ni kama sina nguvu, nasikia ni kama ushaisoma Chozi la Heri. Mimi sijui ni msichana mgani kwa Chozi la Heri. Nilikuwa tu nasikia alikuwa anaitwa Pete ama alikuwa anaitwa nani ama ni Chanda Chema ama ni nani, I don't know. Nilikuwa nasikia like my whole world imeanguka tu yote kama ridhaa. I felt like my world completely shattered because I didn't know how I'll explain. So something behind my mind told me to go for another scan outside. Unajua hizi ni zile hosi kubwa kubwa hizi. So I went for another scan outside the hospital. Of course kuna kuanga na alternatives. Kama ya ndani ni inakushinda or whatever, unafanya hapo nje. So when I went, tena tuanze again kukunywa maji, I took water. Taking water, we did the scan. And he says it's a normal pregnancy, but we almost lost the baby. So, kenya tutafanya ni emergency. Rudi hospitali. Peana hii scan, fanya hii na ile. So, I go and now I'm opening my legs and wanaangalia. Wananieka sijui manini hizo. And wakanipea more medicine and more IFAS, the supplements now. I'm still on drip nimekam. That is day 1. Mimi peke yangu nikapanda mat nikarudi kwetu. I go for another second day because now still I had pain. Nilikuwa nimeandikiwa the second day go for paracetamol drip. I go for the second drip. And in my head, I don't know what was running. Like I was so numb to a point, if you tell me, Tasha jirushe, ningejirusha. Because now I feel like, hey, my whole world has come to an end. The one who gave you the pregnancy, hayuko hapo hata. So, on that day, enye I'm experiencing all that, I text him, right? I tell him, you know what? The doctor has told me this and this and this and that. And now I'm alone. I can't maneuver things alone. And I feel this hospital is not suitable for us. Tunaweza change. Tuende ingine. Ako like, wewe unapendanga kusumbua sana. Weenda tu hiyo. Ara saizi sina pesa. Pesa yenye nilikuanga nayo nimetumia. Nilikuwa naumwa na kifua. Nikaenda Aga Khan. So I'm like, so huwezi kopa ama like shida ni gani? Unaona? Like mtu aja kuweka fast. That person was evidently showing me you like you're a priority. You're others. When I don't have the person that I'm supposed to have, you're others. Tasha, you're others. You know, but love is blind. When they say love is blind, love is blind. The white men didn't lie for real because I was so blinded by love. Blinded foolishly. So akaniambia ati kaa hapo hosi nakuja. So nishaekwa drip. Now that's the second day. Nishaekwa drip. Still in mild pain. Nikaenda nikakula hapo nje. Of course, nakumbuka nilikulanga chips, sausage, na kale ka Fanta black currant. That one. Kadogo. So I'm waiting for him. It's 2. He said he's coming like around, I don't know, 3 or something. 3 mefika. I text him. Sio, mimi mtoto mjinga sana. Naandika tu. Naongeza tu text. Where are you at? Kwa nini unanifanyia hivyo? Do you know, nasikia uchungu. Unajua mimi nitaenda home. Naendelea tu kuongeza. Zina tu. Double tick. And then, he tells me, ati I'm on my way with my mom and my sister. We're coming. I'm like, I can't wait for you. Mimi nilimaliziwa kitambo. Na nimekungoja kwa like, tuko hapa TRM. Ndo tunakuja. Niko like, mimi nilishamaliziwa. Niko na uchungu. Fanyaje? You just come to our place. So he's like, for you to know that his cards were played well. He's like, apana, siwezi kuja home na kina mom na sis with all the tension that has come with pregnancy. It's not right nikuje na wao. Pia mimi nikakaa chini nikajiambia, enyewe, it's not right. Like, mamake atakuja je wa kwanza before babake na sistake. So, nikamwambia, so niende home. Ako like chill kidogo. So, nimechill bado naongezea text. Where you at? Unajua unanifanyanga vibaya, unajua nasikia vibaya, unajua nini? Msichana ameongeza message. So, he didn't show up. And he tells me, mimi niliona tu nisikuje, sasa hiyo ishakuwa 5. Nimekaa kutoka kitu kama nilimalizwa kitu kama 12. Nimekaa mpaka 5. Kwa hoteli ya wenyewe tu, kazi ni kuitisha soda after soda. Aya, ananiambia ati nilemwa kukam, niliona it's not the best environment to bring my mom and sister. So I'm like, mbona huku niambia? Ako like, oh, I was driving. Mind you, even the hospital fee, mamangu ndo alinipea. si alinipea, ni mamangu. You know why he didn't give me? He told me I was driving and I didn't see your message na singesimama mahali nikutumie do. It was already evident from the beginning, you know. It was just seen. I was just sugarcoating his behavior with my delusionalness. Like ananionyesha enyewe mimi I'm not there fully like something like that. Aya, kidogo kidogo hiyo wiki akanitumia za fruits. Akaniambia you go buy fruits. I'm sorry for whatever happened. Nilikuwa nishakasirika. From that point nilikuwa nishasema don't even text me. I'm going to raise this baby alone. Nini. I was so mad because I couldn't imagine the trauma I had. And then now going home, I remember it was on the 10th of December. Going home, I'd dream, ningelala, ningeota, ningefeel, unaona venye movies zinakuonyeshanga baby voices. I'd hear something that tells me, Ayuko, Ayuko, Ayuko. And I'd wake up and not even pray because I don't even have the strength of praying. I don't know, when you're weary, when your heart is weary, sijui mbona mtu hawezangi kuomba. So I was just sitting and playing gospel songs and just crying and crying and crying. But I had told my friend and alikuanga supportive sana. Like angesema pole, nini. And my family was supportive also. Because sasa nimefanya nini? Wamenipea bed rest. You can't work for the whole of December. You can't work for the whole of December because they have to check on how I'm progressing and for it not to continue. You see? So, that is how my first trimester was. That is how I almost lost a baby, having an unsupportive. People didn't say he was a deadbeat at that point. An unsupportive man, right? Yeah. So thank you for watching the video. We've come to the end of the video. Let's get to the next video, which is going to be super interesting because I'm going to be telling you how or why things ended up between us. So bye guys. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, call your family, call your friends, call your church members to come and watch this video. And I hope it has helped somebody there, or I hope it has entertained somebody there. I love you all. Bye.